Hi there, and welcome to the Race Advisor's first walkthrough review. Now, what we're going to do in these walkthrough reviews is we're going to look inside a betting product so that you can see exactly what you get, take a look at what's been going on, what it looks like, and decide if it's something for you. And so the first product we're going to look at is Stop at a Winner, and this is a piece of betting software published by Steve Davidson and developed by Michael. And it's a different Michael to me. I haven't developed this. He's developed a number of pieces of software before, some of which have been absolutely superb. So I'm quite excited about looking into this software. Now, what this software does is pretty self-explanatory. It is a stop at a winner betting bot. That means it will bet on the favourite using a loss recovery staking plan until you get a winning bet. And when you get a winning bet, it will stop betting for the day. That's what it does. Very easy to explain, which I like. It does what it says on the tin. So let's take a look inside it. Now, once you join, you're going to come to a thank you page that looks like this, and this is a nice clear thank you page. There's an installation guide here. Moving down, there is a manual for how to use the software here, and going further we get the software. Now, this software will only work on a Windows machine. If you're a Mac user, you can get something called Parallel Windows, which will allow you to install Windows on your Mac, and you'll have to do that and install Windows if you want to run this software on a Mac. So it will only run on a Windows machine. There are two versions of the software. There's a Windows XP version and then every other type of Windows. Windows XP is now very old, but there are still a lot of people using it, which is why they've made an XP version, and that's a great little addition there. I'm using Windows 7, so I would download the top one. Now, I've already downloaded this software, and when you download it, it comes as a zip file. You can see that over here. Now, a zip file is a compressed file format, so it's quicker to download for you. Downloads very quickly, but you need to do what is known as unzip it before. Now, I have a program installed called WinRAR that does that. Windows does also come with its own program to do it. So I'm going to open my WinRAR unzip and just press extract to, hit the OK button, and it will automatically extract it here on the same place where the file was saved. So you can see now we've got a folder. I can close this and open the folder, and in the folder we've got setup and stop at a winner bot. We actually want to run the setup, not this bot file, so we double click on the setup, hit run. We get this guide to install, and we can choose where we want to install the software. You can browse if you want to choose somewhere else. Choose whether everyone who has all the users on the machine can access it or just your user can access it. Press next, and it will install. It's possible that on your Windows you may also get a security thing, a bit like this, coming up saying, do you want this software to make changes to your computer? In order to install and in order to run, the software will have to make changes to your computer, so we just press yes. And as you can see, the installation is done very quickly, very efficiently, and we have a new icon on the desktop to run it. Now I'm going to double click this icon to run the software. And again, we've got this, do you want to make changes to this computer alert? If we want to run the software, we have to choose yes. So we do that, and the software loads. Now, the very first time you load this software, I've already done a test installation of it. The very first time you run it, you have to put in your email address and press the send me an activation button. And that will go off to the developer to give you a license key to put in so that you can activate the software. And there's a kind of a protection for them to stop people sharing it. The response to that, for me when I did it, it took about 2 hours for Michael to respond with the license key that I needed to activate the software. And you just put it in and activate it, and you come straight up to this screen here. So 2 hours, I was very impressed with the response time. It was also about 11 o'clock at night as well. So that was pretty good. But to be honest, I would always allow on something like that up to 24 hours, because he could be in bed if it's late at night or whatever. It's not an automated system. They send it to you as I understand it. So, but it came through very quickly for me. So that was great. Then what we do is we put in our Betfair username and password. Now I'm just going to minimize these windows here, so that we can see it clearly. Now I'm going to put in a Betfair account that has no funds in it. I always do that with software when I'm very new to it, because I don't want to hit the start button and get it betting on things before I've really understood how it works. So I always start by logging into a Betfair account that has no funds in it. So that means it cannot actually place any bets for me. So we just log in with our username and password here. Press OK. It's pretty quick, and it will log in very, very quickly. And here we have the software. So as you can see, it's pretty self-explanatory. We've got the manual here on the left-hand side. Tells you how much is in the UK wallet and the Australian wallet, and you can see I've got £1 here. Like I said, it's an account with no funds in it, well, £1, so that the software cannot bet for me. Underneath that, we can choose which markets, which countries, sorry, we want to bet in. If we want to choose all of them, we hit reload markets, and then it will refresh and put all the markets in. Don't forget, this software will only ever bet on the favourite in the market. You can't choose any other horses. It's designed just to bet on the favourites in a market. There's an auto reload function which will reload these markets every hour. In case something is delayed or whatever, it will reset all the times. And of course you can choose just to use specific countries, reload them, and there we go. Underneath that, we've got the commission percent, which starts off as 0 by default, and you can change it to whatever commission percentage you have on your account, so that the staking plan that it uses to recover your losses are going to be taken into account with that. And down here you can see a list of the races, and you can choose not to bet in some races by deselecting them, and any races with a tick in will be considered for betting. And you can also click on a race to get the details of that race here. And when we have the details of the race, we've got all of the runners, the win market, and the place market, so we can see everything in one place, which is actually a really nice feature. I really like the fact we can see win and place markets, and actually it can be useful just to see these markets if you bet on the place market anyway, to see them side by side. That in itself is quite a useful feature, which could be used separately just to view markets. But obviously that's not the point of the software. So the real settings in the software come up here. So remembering that this software will only bet on favourites, it's designed to stop at a winner using a loss recovery staking plan, which means that if you lose on your first bet, on your second bet, it will bet on the favourite with a stake that will try and recover the losses from the first bet and make your profit. If you lose that one, the third bet will try and recover all your losses so far and make the profit, and it will continue like that. So the control you have over it is you can set the minimum odds here and the maximum odds that you are willing to consider betting on the favourite between. So if the favourite is lower than odds of 2 and higher than odds of 4, then the software would skip that race and move on to the next race. The minimum amount matched is the minimum amount matched that you want to have before the software will consider placing a bet. So I have this at 10,000 here. It came by default at 5,000, which means there would need to be at least 5,000 matched before the software would consider placing a bet on the favourite. Not sure quite what I did there. There you go. Let me shrink that back down. Okay, so that's what the minimum a match does. I would probably have it set to 10,000 to be honest. Um, but that is another filter to prevent the software betting if there isn't enough liquidity. So if they're like, you can see here, we got a few pounds, because this is obviously a race for tomorrow. It's the 5th at the moment when I'm recording this. This is a race on the 6th. There's very little liquidity, but if this race was about to go off with this level of liquidity, the software would notice that there hasn't been 10,000 matched on it, and so it would skip it and move on to the next race. And that prevents you getting bets unmatched. Seconds to post is when you want the software to start considering placing your bet. I have it here as 20 seconds. Again, the default setting was 60. A lot can happen between 60 seconds before the off and 20 seconds before the off to favorites. So for me, I would probably set that at 20. And that is when the bot will start to consider placing a bet. So that would be 20 seconds before the race. It would start to consider placing bets. And you can also choose how many runners you require to place bets. So if there were less than 5 runners in this race, like this one, it would move on to the next race. If there were more than 10 runners, it would move on to the next race. So it will only consider betting on races between 5 and 10 runners. Pardon me. You can place your bets in the win market or the place market. You just change that over. And you can choose what the software does if there are joint favorites. You can either ignore them, ignore the race and move to the next, or you can split your stake across both of them 50-50. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Now we come to the key features that make this software work. The stop at a profit. So this is how much profit you require before the software stops betting. At the moment it's 50p, so it's going to try and make a 50p profit. If it doesn't make 50p in the first race, it will try in the second race to recover its losses and make the 50p profit. And as soon as it's made that 50p profit or more, the software will stop betting. You also have the stop loss. This means that if the software loses up to £5 or more in bets, then it will stop betting for you. Now the only thing about stop loss like that is you have to be aware that if you have lost, if the software has been placing bets and it's lost say £4.97, then it hasn't lost £5 or more. So it will still place the next bet, which is going to take you over your £5 stop loss. So that's just something to be aware of if you're using this software. When it hits the stop loss or higher, then it's going to stop betting. Now we've got a few options underneath here. We've got the continue. And that means that if you hit your stop profit, you make your 50p. If this continue box is checked, then it's going to restart the cycle and try and make you 50p on the next race as well. And it will basically start that cycle again from the beginning. And it will keep doing that. If you make another 50p, then it will start again on the next race. And so on and so forth. And it will continue to do that until it hits the stop loss. Now, underneath the stop loss, you have continue with restart. What this means is that if you hit your stop loss, you go £5 or over and continue with restart is checked, then the software will restart the cycle from the beginning and try and win you 50p again, but assuming you haven't lost anything. So it won't try and recover the £5 or more you've already lost. It will just continue and restart to try and make you your 50p. Continue without restart means that it will continue to bet, trying to recover all your losses. This, for me, is a very dangerous option. I'm assuming it's there because it's been requested, but essentially, if you have this checked, the software will continue to bet until you've made your profit or you've lost your entire balance. So, personally for me, I would say make sure that this is never checked. That is a very high risk way of betting, and I couldn't recommend it with any conscience. So I would not ever check this button. Over on the far right here, we can stop the bot, and clear everything that's done so far. You can also run the software as a lay bet as well, a lay bot, so it will place lay bets on the favorite instead of back bets, and the settings work in exactly the same way. It's just it will place lay bets instead. So everything is clear. It's a very clear piece of software. We have current bets here that will show you the current bets and the results that you've had, and you can export those results. Everything is very clear. It's very simple, easy to use, and the manual is very self-explanatory. Now, the manual doesn't actually contain any strategies. However, the strategies, strangely, are on the sales page. So you can see we've got these strategies here: strategy 1, strategy 1B, strategy 2, strategy 3, strategy 4, strategy 5. So there's a whole range of strategies here. They've got the results for each of them, which is nice, so you can download the results for each of the strategies. And what I do like is that there's a screenshot of the settings for those strategies. So you can see exactly how everything has been set up, and you can see the graph of results. Now, because this is loss recovery, there is always higher risk associated with loss recovery, and obviously that has to be taken into consideration. But these graphs give you an idea of the drop that you can expect in your bankroll. Let's just come back up to the rules. And we can see here we go, strategy 1B is the one that apparently Michael personally uses here. We've got the fact that we're backing in the UK racing market only. The set time before the off, he's using 25 seconds. The odds range, 3 to 10. And his ratio for the stop loss is 1 to 50. So that means that if you're trying to make a pound profit per winner, then you should have a stop loss of £50. Now, the only thing that it doesn't say here, let's go up. As you can see, the only thing it doesn't say here is what kind of bankroll you should have. So I'm not sure whether this should be a bankroll of £100 or £500 or whatever, and I would quite like to see Michael put that into the manual at least anyway. And in fact, I would quite like to have a strategy manual on this thank you page here, so that we can actually download a strategies guide separately with all the strategies listed in it, and see them without having to go back to the sales page to get them. That would be really nice. And the risk levels, having a risk assessment for each of the strategies, so that we can see how risky it is, the bankroll required in units, and then obviously the settings. I do like the fact that we have a screenshot here so you can get the settings exactly, and I do like the fact you can see the graph so you can get a good visualization of downswing periods and what is required anyway on all of them. And then we've got all the results, and we have this for each of the strategies. So you can see all of them, you can download the results, see the settings, and see the graphs and charts for them. Now you'll notice that all of them have drawdowns that are quite big, and that is unavoidable with loss recovery. At some point you're going to hit back-to-back cycles where you hit your stop loss again and again and again, and that's what's accounting for these drawdowns. Loss recovery does have that higher risk element because of this. So you should be aware of that, which is why I would like to see bankroll suggestions from Michael in the guide as well. But we have all the strategies here that he's using. which is a nice feature. So overall, this software is designed to do one thing. It's designed to bet on favorites using a loss recovery staking to make a profit per day or per cycle, and it will stop either for the day when you hit your profit or loss, or for the cycle when you hit your profit or loss. It's got a nice range of settings. It comes with some strategies. The only key thing for me that it's missing is to have the strategies actually in their own guide that are downloadable so they can be saved separately, and to have risk levels next to each strategy and the bankroll requirements for them as well. And I will feed that back to Michael, so I'm sure it will be added. He's normally very good at adding things like that. So if you're comfortable using a loss recovery staking plan, you must be comfortable using loss recovery staking to get this software. But if you're comfortable with that, you like the strategy, then this software will auto bet it for you, manage everything, and you can set it and walk away for the day and it will run. It's very simple to set up. It can be installed in a few minutes and you can be up and running very quickly. So I hope you enjoyed the very first walkthrough review video. If you want to get more information on the Stop It or Winner bot, then you can click on the button just below this video and it will take you over to Michael's site where you can have a look at the strategies, you can see the results, and you can get all the information from him. If you've got any questions for me, please leave them below this video. And if you have any feedback on it, if you'd like to see more of these walkthrough reviews where we just take a look inside betting products that are out there on the market to see what is actually contained in them and what they're doing, then please let me know and I will start to make them more regular. So thank you very much for watching and I look forward to catching with you soon. Bye for now.